classified section of the Atlantic Open Wheel website, where some people are, trying to get into it and trying to unload some old stuff to get some newer vehicles. So I mean, it's fairly easy to get into, is it not? I mean, what's the process if someone wanted to get into Atlantic Open Wheel? How do you get into that?
Best thing to do, I guess, would be go to the website and have a look and see if you know any of the drivers, because we do have drivers from all over the province. And then it would be a matter of contacting one of those guys. And then it's a small, tight-knit group, and somebody could put you on to somebody that had a car for sale or knew where there was one for sale.
So would it be hard to get in, like if I just wanted to put my own team, like Christina and I just want to throw a team in?
You don't want to put me behind the wheel.
Like, would it be hard to, like you said, it's kind of more of a tight-knit group, so would it be hard to kind of get accepted in that group or kind of get your foot in?
Definitely not. Byron came on board last year, first season with us, and I think he got welcomed into the group pretty good.
It's pretty good. As competitive as the sport is, Christina, you know that because your dad works on them as well.
That's right.
He's a pro stock guy. When you have trouble at a race, the guys that you're racing against, somebody might have somebody with 7 or 8 crew members. And if you go to PEI and you only have one person with you, and you do run into trouble, the other guys are there to help you out.
So it's kind of, they're almost like your family too.
Absolutely.
Like
for sure.
It's true. It is a really small knit group and good family. I mean, I can remember there was a race last year where poor Cal Hatfield blew something out of his truck, and everybody on the track was scrambling together to try to get this part for him and get his car fixed so he could get back on there.
Yeah.
That's right.
Okay, we're going to take a caller now. Actually, we have Mike from Hampton on the line. Hi, Mike.
Hi.
How's it going?
Good.
You got a question for us?
Yes, I was just wondering what it would take to get into an open wheel. What kind of money are we looking at?
Okay, so what kind of money and what's it take to get into an open wheel?
If you could find a car that's already built, that's what happened in my case. I got a car ready to go for $3,000.
Holy smokes.
Yeah.
That's a heck of a deal.
Well, I did get a good deal. But there, I mean, if you look around, there is, I'd say 3 is a low water mark, and probably 5 would be more realistic.
Wouldn't you need to lug all your stuff around and everything too? Wouldn't there be a lot of costs involved, like over top of just, buying just your basic car?
I would say probably my budget that I typically put together is about $300 an event. That pays for my tow money, get there, pays for my parts, because basically with our cars we buy secondhand tires.
Yeah.
There's 3 different types of cars, or tires that we can run. It's the American Racers or the Hoosiers, which the Pro Stock Tours run here, or a Goodyear that folks have been using this area for the last little while, but typically it's pretty cheap to get into tires and stuff.
That sounds reasonable, yeah.
What about upkeep throughout the year? Like, say, how much would you average on repairs for the vehicle? I mean, I know it obviously depends on how much damage you're doing to him. I mean, poor Mark McCulley has probably busted his ARW a million times in the run of a season, but I mean...
For me, I guess I got to get a bigger brake pedal, because every event I had to replace the front bumper. Other than that, just oil changes and regular maintenance.
Perfect. All right. Well, thank you very much, Mike. I hope that answers your question.
Yes, it did. Thank you.
Great. Thanks. So you say you need to get some more brakes and stuff like that, yeah?
I seem to need a bigger brake pedal, I think.
The price sounds fairly reasonable for your car, and like you said, how much per race and how much you have to fix it per race. It's not like it costs you an arm and a leg to get into it or to get going, really.
Not at all. I had some tough luck last year, blew an engine or 2 type of deal. Had the car actually on fire there at one point.
Oh.
But where the cars are spec'd so tight, we know we can't do a lot to the engine. Like, to get a complete rebuild was like $2,000 type of deal.
Yeah.
So, and that doesn't often happen too often.
The good part about our series as well is we don't race every single weekend.
That's true.
So you might race a week, and it might be maybe 2 or 3 weekends later that you race again. So it's not a constant week after week scrambling to get to a racetrack or trying to scramble to get enough money to get to the racetrack. So that part of the series, that's the part that I enjoy, because I don't want to go bumping up and down the road every single weekend.
So is it kind of like is it mostly like a weekend thing? Like basically like you mostly race on the weekends?
Oh, definitely. Typically it's a Saturday night.
Okay.
Okay, guys. Well, we're going to talk more about this when we come back. But if you've got any questions, you can give us a call, 1-866-257-5037. We'd love to hear from you. Some great shots there from David Connell Photography. Thanks a lot for those pictures, David. Now, speaking of hockey, you got a little hockey stick we're going to give away in just a few minutes. Right, Byron?
Yes.
Good.
Yep. One of the Bowers.
Ah, yes. All right. We were going to get to that in just a second. But first, we are going to take a call now. We've got someone on the line from Fredericton. Oh, we're working on getting Andy for you, so we're going to talk to Andy. I believe Andy knows you. I believe we had a little snack talk going on to get you prepped up for the season. Now, tell me about this stick. What's the deal with the stick? Tell me all about it.
This is the stick that we're going to do for you guys.
For the Stick It contest, that's right.
For the Stick It contest. This is something that, I've got a little sports tour, and I mean little, out in Rothsay, called All Sorts for All Sports. Anyways, we're going to give the stick away tonight.
Very nice. Now, this is the Bauer Vapor, is that correct?
It's a Bauer Vapor V2. Nice little stick. Yep,
composite, right?
It's a composite stick. So whoever wins it, I hope they score some goals with it.
Okay, very nice little stick there. I held it, played it a little bit. It was good feel to it. Good feel to it. Now we're going to make a draw for this stick right now. So shake up all the names here, Byron, and you are going to draw that out. I'm making shook them up real good. All right. You go ahead and pull a name on out of there.
So I have just the one?
Yeah, you're not peeking, are you?
No.
Who do you have there?
Richard Deschamps.
Richard Deschamps. Richard is out of Moncton, so congratulations to you, Richard. You've got yourself a beautiful Bauer composite vapor stick. I probably said that all backwards, but... All right, so we'll get in contact with you about that, Richard, and you can get your stick. All right, we have Andy on the line here now, so let's get to this. Hi, Andy.
Hi.
How are you doing?
Good.
Good. So I understand you are familiar with these gentlemen. Is this correct?
Yeah.
All right. Well, take it away, Andy.
Well, I was just going to ask Byron, how safe he felt in one of these cars. Does he feel they're a pretty safe car?
They are. And they feel too safe because we have arm restraints. In any car that I've ever driven before, there's no arm restraints.
Okay.
I've had a couple of little problems with the restraint getting tangled up.
So if your steering wheel or something was to fall off, you'd probably be all right, would you?
He was at the race in Shediac last year, and I was playing around with my arm restraints, and I forgot to put the quick release button on my steering wheel.
Oh.
So when we go out racing, I pulled up on the steering wheel, and the steering wheel come off in my hand. And I went head first. I suppose we were probably doing 70 miles an hour, and I hit a concrete wall in Shediac head on.
Ouch.
The cars are safe. But if it hadn't been for that arm restraint, I was playing around with the arm restraint, and I forgot to put the button in my steering wheel.
And the arm restraint made you forget to do that.
Yeah.
That's why.
Thanks for reminding me that, Andy.
See, safety tips. Thank you, Andy. How about you, Joe? Anything?
I've seen some pretty hard crashes in them cars, and like we were talking about earlier in the show, they're a pretty rugged car.
Do they have a head, like you're strapped right in your head, are you hooked right into the seat?
On the sides of the seat, actually, I think, well, if I'm trying to remember my car now, winter's been 2 years long, but I believe on the side of my helmet I have two, one on each side, a helmet restraint, and then we have like a 5-point harness, and then these arm restraints. So no, we're good.
Does that answer your question, Andy? All right. Well, thank you very much for your call, Andy. If you have any calls or questions for any of the guests today, 1-866-257-5037. That's 1-866-257-5037. Now, we were talking about the safety of these things. I mean, if anyone's seen one of these open-wheel cars, I mean, there's no doors. It's pretty open.
You got into an accident, you told us, during one of the breaks where you said your car had caught on fire. Now, you're all hooked right into the seat. You're all strapped in. No doors. You're jumping in and out the window. Doesn't a state of panic set in that you just want to get out of that burning car as quick as you possibly can?
That's for sure.
And you're all strapped right into the seat, so you can't really get out.
But it's not too bad. Basically, with a 5-point harness, there's only one quick release.
Yeah.
You're done and you're out of there.
I still would be freaking out. I mean, I've seen many a time where cars just burst into flames, and I'm like freaking right out. But they just jump out of the car. They're like, yeah, whatever, give the crowd a wave, and that's the end of it. But you don't get freaked out, scared, or anything at all?
I do.
Sad. Look at your face.
Does it,
Fire's the worst thing.
desensitize you to like real driving though when you're on the street now? Like that's like when you're out on the street